Hi felters and crafters, and welcome. My name is Philippa if you don't know me, and this is the start of my journey with spinning. So I'm a needle felter and I do some crochet, but I had a lot of wools at Christmas from World of Wool, from their fibre advent calendar. I'll show you that in a minute. And I keep looking at them thinking, I really should spin them and turn them into things that I can use. So I finally, about 3 weeks ago, purchased an Ashford Kiwi 3 spinning wheel, which is a really handy little wheel. I'm just putting it together. I did, and I really emphasize you should do this, followed a couple of videos on YouTube, one in which I saw someone make a mistake at the very beginning with the pedals and getting them the wrong way, right way round. And then I think it was Adelaide Walker have a really good video to follow. So it wasn't that hard. And you see how this wheel, it folds up. That's the chair I'm going to use, so I can make the chair go up or down. But it's so small, and it's just in the corner of what I consider to be quite a small room. I'm really lucky to have this room. And because the pedals fold up, it just sits behind my chair, and it's tiny and it's great. And it was just under £400. So compared to a lot of the other spinning wheels, it was a really good price. And I really like the look of it as well. So this is my very first go. Now, I had a workshop booked and I thought I really should just try this before I go. So I got more out of the workshop, and you can see I was useless. And well, even at the workshop, there were 4 ladies there that hadn't spun before, and they were similar to me when I first started. So I think the first time you do it, don't expect too much at all. It kept breaking. Over twist is my problem, and it still is actually, even though I've improved quite a bit. But this is the first one I was doing, so I really don't know whether I'm using a good fibre or not, or an easy fibre to spin with, but it wasn't too bad. And this is what I created. It took a while, lots of breakages, lots of over spinnage, which I've got a little bit better. That was the name of it, from World of Wool, Snow Leopard. And then, so I've done that one on a bobbin, and then I'm going to do another one in a grey. And do occasionally you get the feeling and you're like, that's how it should be. So that was the second one I did. And or was that the first? I think let me have a look at the other one. Yeah, that's the first, and the other one was the second. And so I've done those 2 in similar colours. I did try this colour as well, and it's got some glitter in it, and it was so hard to spin that I gave up on it really, really quickly. I realised maybe it wasn't good for me. So I took those 2 greys and I'm plying them together in the other direction. So you go in one direction to spin them, and then you ply them in the other direction. Now, I mean, don't take anything as I say as gospel, because I'm really not that good. But it got in a right old tangle. But I worked it out in the end, and this is what I created. So this is on the spindle, and I'll just wrap it up. And then I'm going to use that for a sheep at some point in the future. But it's good. I don't want things to be too thin. I want to remain and keep the chunkiness. And so then I did this from 2 other colours, a sort of a white and a cream. So I'm really pleased with those 2. And I left it at that, and then I was going to go to the class. So I decided to this is what I intend to use spinning for, is to make some sheep coat effects. I might do, and you'll see at the end why, do some weaving with some of it. So I created this sheep, and this is the kind of thing I'm going to do. So that was my second set of wools that I spun up, and I made a little skein. I thought this would be a really good way to keep a record, because I had a little bit left over. So I'm just going to keep that and then see how I improve over time. So then I went to Black Sheep Wools. Lazy Kate Textiles is Kathy, and she was running a workshop. So this is in it's Warrington direction. So Black Sheep Wools, I did a sort of walk around the shop in my Vlogmas, so do go and have a look. It's one of my Vlogmases. It's one of the biggest wool shops in the UK, sort of small trading wool shops, but they do workshops, and I was very lucky to be able to book on one of these workshops with Kathy from Lazy Kate Textiles. And as I said, there were 6 of us. Now, I kind of got it because I'd done it twice already, but a couple of the other ladies really didn't, and they struggled so much. She had a really good book there. I'm very tempted to purchase it, but I don't think I need to, because I don't want to do lots of technical stuff. I just want to learn how to spin for some of the fibres that I would like, which are quite chunky. Art yarns, I think they'll be called. And obviously I know I need to get a slightly bigger jumbo flyer. These are the 2 skeins that I managed to produce for the day. And we had some great food as well. They feed you too. So really recommend it. So this was partly why I decided to do some spinning. So I've got the World of Wool, I got the fibre advent calendar which came in that box, and then I purchased after Christmas the wool yarn, so it's all done up, and so I've matched all of them up bar 2. I don't quite understand, those 2 don't match up, but I am going to spin the wool and then we'll spin it back onto the actual wool yarn. So I'm going to start with this one because it's a really lovely soft one, easy colour. I'll see how it goes with spinning. So this will be a bit of a well, we'll just see how they go, because some of them don't spin that easily for me. I know I'll find some of them difficult, but this is just an idea of what I'm going to do with some of these wools, and then use them as sheep coats, hopefully, if they turn out okay. So I don't want them to be super thin. So let's go and start spinning this one, and it'll be my 4th time using my machine.
Say something meaningful, say something I don't know. I wanna know you better. The way that you talk to me, the way that you make me feel, I don't know if you're real. I wanna put you in that spotlight, looking at you all night. Put you in that spotlight. Oh, you make me feel right. Wanna look at you all night. Put you in that spotlight. Oh, you know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful. And it's like you're untouchable. Like you're untouchable. Don't you know? You know you're beautiful. You know you're beautiful. I'll sing until my lungs give out. You're beautiful. Beautiful, baby. You're beautiful. What are you doing to me? I think I'm going crazy. Oh, I just want you now. I wanna hold you close.
So I spun the wool and then I applied it back onto the yarn, and look, there's some nice little curls in it, and it was really, really hard to do that one because it was a super soft wool. I think it was an alpaca mix. So I really, really struggled. So then I went on to a green fibre with the green yarn as well that I'm going to do. So this one was a lot easier. I feel like I'm going so slow, but I think this is the only way to stop the overspin. The wheel's going slow, but the bobbin is moving quite fast when you actually see it. And also I feel my hands are smoother, but they look really like I'm tugging and pulling at the wool, but I'm not, honestly. So this one was a lot easier than the brown one that I just tried. So I've used all of that up, and then I'm going to put it onto the green yarn, but I think that's really pretty. And more consistent, less big lumps and bumps, and I'm joining the wool a bit better. And so here I am applying it back on, and this is the fun bit, and it's so pretty, and honestly I love this one when it's finished. But I think I'm just enjoying doing this, and when you do like beehive yarns, I think you sort of push it up every now and again. But the hole in the flyer that I've got, do you see what it's feeding into? It's called an orifice. There's some funny names in here, by the way, but it's not that big, so I can't do anything too chunky. So that's why I would need to get a jumbo flyer to be able to do bigger art yarns in the future. But yeah, look how pretty it is. I'm so pleased with it. And so this you have to move up and down so it feeds onto the bobbin evenly, so it'll only feed in that spot that you've moved it to. So you have to sort of stop every now and again, and you stop when you're joining. There's a lot of stopping and starting. Oh, look, I did this in slow-mo, but this has just confused me even more because the bobbin seems to be going in the same direction. So I really don't understand it, but it's fascinating. And it's a real skill to see people spinning something super, super thin. I went to a wool show recently and saw a lady spinning really thinly, and it's like, oh, how do you do it? But, you know, as with everything, years of practice. So yeah, look at this one. I thought it was really pretty. So what I'm going to do with this is put it on a niddy noddy to turn it into so you can put it into the skein or skein shape, which I wanted to try. So I did this first up. I got the order right. That's a niddy noddy, that wooden contraption. Again, another funny name. And also you've got a lazy Kate as well. And so I pulled it off and then started to get in a bit of a tangle. It wasn't too bad. And then I had lots of spare bits and I was trying to put them in and it just went completely wrong. And you know, you think, oh my goodness, I tangled it all up. So I thought, right, I'll start again, tried to untangle it all. Spent about 15 minutes trying to untangle it all, did it again, put it on the niddy noddy, and then this time was really careful when I took it off. There we go. And then so you take it off, you stretch it out, and then you twist, twist, twist in opposite directions, and then it naturally forms into I'll call it a skein. I think it is a skein correctly. And it's just a nice way to sort of store the wool, and it's really pretty. It's how you buy a lot of hand-dyed yarn, but then you have to cake it up to use it. But I just wanted this put in a skein. So there we go. That's the green one, and I love it. I think it's so pretty, even though I probably wouldn't use that for a sheep. I could do, but it's so, so pretty. And then lastly, I did this morning. I'm going to take this pink, because this is going to be a little gift for someone, and I'm going to ply the pink and then, no, sorry, yes, spin the pink and then ply it back onto the green. So this was not too bad. Again, the wheel is still controlling me. I'm not controlling it. But I'm getting there, and I'm going to apply it back onto that green so there's the hint of green. And it honestly, I love the effect that this gives. I absolutely overstuffed. See, there's a big lump. Don't worry about that. I overstuffed the spinning. What's it called? Bobbin, that's the name of it, sorry. I really stuffed this one as full as can be. And this is what I made. I made a little sheep, so that's a little gift for someone. And I've got lots of the pink and green left over. Here we go. That is the result of all of my spinning for a couple of weeks. Right from the very start, so that was the first one. No, the grey was the first one. Then that sheep. Then I did the workshop. That one, then the green and the pink. So very pleased with it so far. Probably any of my spinning now will go into my monthly vlog, so do subscribe if you'd like to follow the journey a little bit more. I'm so pleased. Look at the green with the pink, they go so well. I've been watching a lady on YouTube. She actually does weaving sort of small pictures with some of her coarse spun wool, so that's a really good idea. It's something I might try in the future. Any help and advice will be greatly appreciated, especially because I'm over spinning things still quite a bit. But I am going to keep practicing with all of that World of Wool that is in the garage. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.